Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudramarudastunandi Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sankhyapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pasyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Om Sruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. We are continuing the discussion Shankaracharya's refutation of Jnana-Karma Samucchayavada, the school of philosophy which upheld the view that the central theme of Bhagavad Gita is Jnana-Karma Samuccaya, that is a combination of knowledge and rituals. Shankaracharya wants to establish the fact that the central theme of Bhagavad Gita is pure Jnanam, that is the view of Advaitins. So the discussion is related to one famous verse in the Bhagavad Gita. It comes in the 3rd chapter. Jyayasi chet karmanaste mada buddhir janatana tatkim karmani ghore mam nayojiyasi kesava. So at the beginning of the 3rd chapter, Arjuna is putting one question to Krishna. If you think that jnanam or knowledge is superior to karma, rituals, then why do you drag me into this unpleasant action which I am trying to run away from? Ghore mam yojiyasi. Arjuna was very reluctant to take up his responsibility. That is a responsibility of a Kshatriya to fight for the righteous cause. He put forward all kinds of wrong arguments, justifications for his inaction and inactivity. And Lord Krishna is guarding him, is persuading him to take up his duties and responsibilities, which in the case of a soldier who is trying to defend dharma happens to be fight against the evil forces. Arjuna was trying to run away from that. And Krishna is trying to force him to take up his righteous duties and responsibilities. And that duty is a bit unpleasant. So he says, why do you force me to take up what I don't want to do? If jnana is superior, then why don't you recommend jnana which I want to me, and why do you force me into this horrible action, fighting for righteous cause, which involves violence? So, Jaisi chet karmanaste mada buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojyasi kesva. Now, Bhagavad Bhashya says such a question would have been totally irrelevant if Sri Krishna's proposal was Jnana-Karma Samuccaya. So he gives an example. Because if Jnana and Karma together are recommended, then naturally Arjuna would not have asked this question. Why do you force me into action instead of recommending the path of Jnana for me? So Bhashyagara is giving a very interesting example from Ayurveda. Nahi pitta prasamanarthino vaidyena madhuram shidam cha bhoktavyam idi upadishte tayoho anyadarat pitta prasamana karanam bruhi idi prasnaka sambhavati. Now, suppose a doctor recommends to a patient who is suffering from, let us say, violations. If the doctor recommends a kind of food or a medicine which is both sweet and cold, then no patient will ask a counter question to the doctor. Which of the two will help me to cure this disease? Because the doctor is prescribing a mixture of something that is cold and also sweet. So no patient will ask a question, what aspect of the medicine is going to cure my disease? Whether the coolness of the food or medicine, or the sweetness, because both should combine. So Jnana-Karma Samuccaya can never be considered as a central theme of Bhagavad Gita. This idea is emphasized again and again. Again, Bhashyagara continues, Atha Arjunasya Bhagavad Ukta Vachanartha Viveka Anavadhara Nimitta Prasna Kalpayit Tathapi Bhagavada Prasnanirupam Pradivachanam Deyam Maya Buddhikarmano Samuccaya Uktaha Kimartham Itham Tum Bhranta Asi Iti. Now, suppose somebody argues that Arjuna could not fully understand the meaning of Lord Krishna's teaching. So, due to misconception of Lord Krishna's teaching, Arjuna raised such a question. Then also, Lord Krishna would have certainly given an appropriate reply. What's the reply? I already taught you Jnana-Karma Samuccaya. Then why do you ask me such a question? This should have been the answer from Lord Krishna, but that is not the answer from Lord Krishna. So, in fact, the answer is something different. Lord Krishna tells him, Lokesmin dividha nishtha pura prokta maya anagha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. This is Lord Krishna's statement. So, I already taught in the very beginning of creation these two parts, jnana and karma. So, such an answer would have been totally irrelevant if Lord Krishna's recommendation was Jnana Karma Samuccaya. So this idea is put forward again and again. Again, Arjuna's question is again repeated. Vyamisrena eva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vada nischitya yena sriyogam apnuyat. Arjuna continues his question. After asking the question, Jayasi chet karmanaste mada buddhir janardana tat kim karmani ghore mam niyodesi keshava. If you think that knowledge of jnana is superior to karma, then why do you force me into this horrible action? This is the question. And then Arjuna continues, Vyamisrena eva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me. Tadekam vada. Now, what you teach me gives me a lot of conflicts and doubts. So, please teach me, tell me exactly what path I should follow to reach the highest goal. So, Vyamisrena eva itself makes it very clear that Lord Krishna was not teaching Jnana-Karma Samuccaya. In answer to this, Lord Krishna's reply is very, very clear. Lokesmin dividha nishtha pura prokta maya anagha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. I have taught these two parts for the benefit of humanity. In the very beginning of creation, I have taught these two paths. The path of Sankhyas to those who are aspirants of knowledge, and the path of devotion, and the path of karma to those who belong to an earlier, I may not be proper to call primitive, but an earlier level of evolution. So, those who have not reached the highest degree of Chitta Shuddhi, those who are not advanced souls, who are still trying to advance and evolve, I have taught them the path of karma, karma nishtha. And those who have reached a higher level of spiritual evolution, who already transcended the realm of rituals, either smartha karma or saudha karma, for them I have recommended the path of jnana, of knowledge. So this reply itself makes it very clear that Jnana-Karma Samuccaya could never have been the essence of Lord Krishna's teachings. So these ideas are put forward again and again. Natu punaha pradivachanam ananurupam prishtat anyat eva dvenishte maya pura prokte idi vaktam yuktam. So this reply would have been totally irrelevant, not logical. Now, so far, Bhashyakara was dealing with the possibility of Srauda Karma Jnana Samuccaya. I mean, to those who may argue that Srauda, Karma and Jnana combined together is the central theme of Bhagavad Gita. To those who hold such a view, Bhagavan Bhashyakara strongly replied that Srauda Karma Samuccaya, Srauda Karma and Jnana, Srauda Karma Jnana Samuccaya could never be the central thesis of Bhagavad Gita. Now Bhashyakara is taking up another possibility, that is Smarta Karma Samuccayavada. So the next central theme of the Bhashya is Smarta Karma Samuccayavada Khandana. न अपि स्मार्तेन एव कर्मणा बुद्धेः समुच्चये अभिप्रेदे विभागवचनादि सर्वम् उपपन्नम्. Suppose somebody argues that smarta karma and jnana, smarta karma jnana samuccaya is the central teaching of Gita, then also it doesn't hold ground, because yuddha is a smarta karma. So, that being so, karma either smarta or srauda can never be combined with jnanam. If somebody holds the view that karmas, that is smarta karmas laid down in smrtis, alone should be combined with jnana, that's a view. Then the two categoric definitions, that is the path of jnanam and path of karma, Dokesmin dividhanishta pura proktamayana. Such a statement in the Gita would have no logical justification. Therefore, smarta karmas jnana samuccaya also cannot be the central teaching of Gita. There is neither srauda karma jnana samuccaya nor smarta karma jnana samuccaya. That is, karma jnana samuccaya is totally impossible. That's the idea behind. Kimcha kshatriyasya yuddham smartam karma swadharma idi janataha tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi idi ubalambhanupavannaha. And not only that, if Arjuna had the understanding that to fight a battle is his own duty and fighting is a smarta karma, then also to speak to Lord Krishna in a very taunting language, Tatkin karmani ghoremam nirjoyasi, why do you engage me in this action which is so horrible? Such a strong worded question would have been totally out of context. Tasmat Gita Shastre Ishan Matrena api Sraudena Smartena va karmana Atmajnanasya samucchayo na kenajit darsayidum shakyaha. So Bhashyakara concludes for the time being that therefore Tasmat Gita Shastre Ishan Matrena api Sraudena Smartena va karmana Atmajnanasya samucchayo. The combination of knowledge, Atmajnanam, and karma, either Srauda karma or Smarta karma, is totally impossible. Srauda karma stands for Agnishtoma, Aptoryama, Vajapeya, Swimetha, or any of these Saptahaviryajna that which are recommended in the Vaidika Karma Kanda. And Smarta karma are mostly ethical duties and responsibilities which are recommended, which are prescribed in the Smriti literature. So there can never be a combination of either Srauda karma and Jnanam or Smarta karma and Jnanam. That is a central thesis which is strongly emphasized again and again. Tasmad Gita Shastre Ishan Matrena Bhi Sraudena Martena Va Karmana Atmajnanasya Samuccaya Nakenajit Dersaidum Shakyaka. So, this is one aspect of Jnana-Karma Samuccayavada Khandana, the refutation of Jnana-Karma Samuccayavada. Now, another subject is being taken up. Normally, we know that those who are highly evolved in spiritual life, who attain Chitta Suddhi through Nishkama Karma, that is, performance of duties and responsibilities without Kartrutva Bhoktrutva Bodha, with total detachment, they gradually attain Chitta Suddhi or mental purity, purity of mind. They transcend worldly desires. And after that, slowly they reach Atmajnanam. Karmanishthayaha Chitta Suddhi Dvarena Purushartha Hetutam Na Swatantrena Jnananishthatu Swatantrena Purushartha Hetuhu Anyan Apeksha. Central point in the Bhashya tradition, Bhashya literature. Karmanishtha will take us to moksha prapti or liberation, na swatantrena, not directly, but through first taking us to the stage of mental purity. If we constantly do all our duties and responsibilities with total detachment, without thinking that we are the karta, we are the doers of our actions, and we are the bhoktas, we are going to enjoy the results of our actions. If we give up this attachment, then slowly our mind becomes pure. The accumulated prarabdha karmas may get exhausted, and agamiga karmas will not be accumulated, because when we perform our duties and responsibilities without any attachment, with the total conviction that we are we are not the either karta, we are not the doers or enjoyers of our actions or the results, then naturally mind becomes pure. So when mind becomes pure, it's called the attainment of Chitta Suddhi, then naturally Jnana Prapti is the next thing that will happen. After Jnana Prapti, we may continue doing the same duties and responsibilities. We may not stop doing our duties or performing our responsibilities. We don't become inactive or lethargic. So you find great scholars, great thinkers, great Rajarshis in ancient times in India, like Janaka, Ashwapati, all these great philosopher kings of ancient India. They were great jnanis. They have attained highest spiritual realization. But still they performed their duties and responsibilities as kings and emperors. They were very efficient. At the same time, they were also great saints. They are efficient and kings, and they are also rich in the spiritual wisdom. So what happens to those actions? So the Purvapakshi is trying to imply that Atmajnanis who continue the performance of the duties and responsibilities are actually or indirectly combining jnana and karma. In response to this Purvapaksha, Bhashyakara will clearly establish the fact that whatever we do with total non-attachment, whatever duties and responsibilities we perform without any attachment, cannot be called duties and responsibilities. Such karmas are not karmas. They may look like karma, like karma abhasa, but they are not really karmas. So the word karma has got a very well defined meaning in the Mimamsa literature, and that's the sense in which the word karma is frequently used in the Bhashya literature. Karma is that which we do with a definite purpose, with kartrutva bhoktrutva buddhi. So those Atmajnanis like Janaka, karmana hi samsiddhim asita janakadeka, lok sangrahamevapi sampasyan kartum arhasi. So the third chapter makes very clear. Great kings, great philosopher kings in ancient times, they did their duties and responsibilities with total non-attachment, total freedom from any selfish desire. And they attained Chitta Suddhi, then they got Atmajnanam, and then they continued doing their duties and responsibilities as kings and emperors. So Purvapaksha is trying to imply that even after Atmajnana Prapti, they were doing their duties and responsibilities. So don't you think it is some kind of a Jnana-Karma samuccaya? Bhashyagara says it is not Jnana-Karma samuccaya, because actions performed by great Atmajnanis are not actions. They may appear to be actions, but they are not actions. So great sages and saints and incarnations like Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Shankaracharya, Buddha, all these great spiritual personalities, they worked very hard for the good of others, but with total non-attachment, without any attachment, without any selfish desire. Apparently, from an empirical point of view, from a worldly point of view, we may assume that they were working hard, they were engaged in karma, but actually what they did was not karma, because they performed their duty, they continued doing their duties and responsibilities without any attachment. So it is not karma. Karma can be called a karma only if it is done with a sankalpa, with a definite purpose and goal in mind, with a total commitment, that is, and total awareness that we are the doers and we are going to enjoy the results of what we are going to do. Great Atmajnanis never had any such kartrutva bhoktrutva buddhi. That point is established in the coming pages. Yasya tu ajnana ragadi doshato va karmani pravrittasya yajnena danena tapasa va vishuddha sattvasya jnanam utpannam paramartha tattva vishayam ekameva idam sarvam brahma akartrucha iti tasya karmani prayojane cha nivrutte api लोक संग्रहार्थम यत्नपूर्वम यथा प्रवृत्तः तथा एव कर्मणि प्रवृत्तस्य यत् प्रवृत्ति रूपं दृश्यते न तत् कर्म येन बुद्धेः समुच्चयः स्यात्. So the Purvapakshi's argument that great jnanis, great Atmajnanis who work for Loka Sangraha are actually indirectly combining jnana and karma. The Purvapaksha view is being refuted here. So the discussion continues. A person, a spiritual seeker, at the beginning of his spiritual life, may have a lot of strong desire, ambitions, a sense of commitment, and work very hard day and night, workaholics. But slowly, in course of time, such a person may happen to read great holy books like Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads, or great lives of great saints and sages and incarnations, like the life of Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi, Shankaracharya, Buddha and others. And then they may develop an interest in performing the duties and responsibilities without any desire. So there is a gradual evolution from a state of performing duties and responsibilities with desire to a higher stage of performing the same duties and responsibilities without desire. Now, at the next stage, if a spiritual seeker continues the performance of his duties and responsibilities without any attachment, without any selfish purpose, then gradually he or she may attain Chitta Suddhi, purity of mind. Or he may continue the performance of Srauda karmas like Yajna, Yaga, or Smarta karmas like household duties, commitments, and so on. This performance of one's duties, responsibilities, and obligations without any selfish desire, with total non-attachment, will take us to the next stage of spiritual evolution. Mind becomes pure, and then we may get jnana. When Chitta Shuddhi happens, Jnana Prapti is the next stage. Chitta Shuddhi will be followed by Jnana Prapti. So, though there is no Karya Karana Sambandha, cause-effect relationship between Chitta Shuddhi and Jnana Prapti, still, what happens, once we attain Chitta Shuddhi, then Jnana Prapti, attainment of the highest spiritual realization, is not far. And then after attaining this Jnana Prapti, again we may continue the performance of Srauda karmas like Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Yaga, etc., Vedic rituals, or Smarta karmas. We may continue the same. Those actions performed after attaining Atma Jnanam cannot be called actions, because those actions do not produce any vritti in our chitta, mental system. Normally, whatever we do with a strong attachment, with a selfish motive, it registers a strong impact, a residual effect on our mental system. It's called a vritti, and it can become a samskara, and samskaras become vasanas, and they constitute our real character, and we are born again with these accumulated, inherited samskaras and vasanas, and we continue our actions, our movements, our life according to the samskaras and vasanas that we have inherited. This doesn't happen for an Atmajnani. An Atmajnani may work for the good of the world, loka sangraha, but he won't be affected by any of his actions. That point is made clear here. Yasya tu ajnanat ragadi doshato va. Maybe some people, because of the ignorance or the evil of attachment, karmani pravrittasya yajnena danena tapasa va visuddha sattvasya jnanam utpannam Paramartha Tattva Vishayam Ekam Eva Idam Sarvam Brahma Akartra Iti. Maybe at the beginning of our spiritual life, we may be ignorant of higher Vedanta, so we become attached to whatever we do and the results of our actions. So we get entangled in this karma, like either Srauda karmas or Smarta karmas. But then gradually our mind can become pure because of Shraddha with which we perform our duties and responsibilities. And also when we reduce and eventually eliminate our attachment and desire, then what happens? At a higher level, we realize the fact, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. Everything is Brahman. So this becomes a real experience. At such a state, if it does something, either Srauda karma or Smarta karma, it cannot be called karma. It may look like karma, but cannot be called karma. It doesn't create a bondage. It doesn't bind us with a strong chain to this world. Tasya karmani karma prayojane cha nivrutte api loka sangrahartham yatnapurvam yatha pravurtaha tatha eva karmani pravurtasya yat pravurtirubam drishyate na tat karma yena buddhehi samuccayasya. Such a person who is free from all obligations and who has no desire for the results of his or her actions may continue to be active in the field of karma. All the great spiritual teachers of the world, with Shankaracharya himself who writes these words, Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, many great spiritual teachers, they work very hard not for fulfilling any of their selfish desires, but for the good of the world, for the welfare of the world. Even if such a spiritually advanced person appears to be always active, still it is not action. It cannot be regarded as combining jnana and karma, because what a jnani does is not karma. It may appear to be a karma, but it can never be called karma. That's why Bhashya says, no. Tasya karmani karma prayojane cha nivrutte api. So, he has no desire for any of the results. Still he may be active. Yatha bhagavado vasudevasya kshatra karma chestidam na jnayena samuccayade purushartha siddhaye tadvat phalabhisandhya ahankara abhavasya tulyatvat vidusha. So, here of course Lord Krishna himself says in the Gita, Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varte evacha karmani. It comes in the 3rd chapter. Lord Krishna himself says, he was the supreme jnani. I don't have any obligations or duties or responsibilities in any of the 3 worlds. And there is nothing that I want to attain. There is nothing that I have not attained. Still, I am always engaged in action. Name mama partha na asti na vidyade kartavyam trishu abhilokeshu kinchana kinchitapi. Kasmat na anavaptam apraptam anaptavyam prapaniyam tathapi varte evacha karmani aham. Varte evacha karmani. Bhashyakara says, there is nothing that I have to attain, Lord Krishna says. So the commentary by the Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, Name partha na asti na vidyade kartavya. And na apraptam, na vaptavyam. Nothing that I have not attained, nothing that I want to attain. Still, I am always active. And Lord Krishna gives the answer. Why should a great jnani, a great incarnation, though he is the embodiment of the highest supreme realization, he has attained knowledge that he is akarta, abhokta, atma, still he is always active. Yadi hyaham navarteyam jadu karmani atantritaha mama vadma anuvartande manushyaha partha sarvasyaha. It is for the good of others, as an example to others. Lord Krishna says, if I do not do my duty, then what happens? People who look upon me as an ideal, those who follow my path, may become totally inactive. And that will be a disaster for the rest of the world. Therefore, the highest jnanis the highest men of spiritual realization, even after attaining the highest jnana, are always active, but they are not working for their own good. They are working for the good of others. They are working for the welfare of the whole universe. That's the main difference here. So, tasya karmani karma prayojane cha nivritte api, such a jnani, he is completely free from any desire, any sense of purpose, any plan, because there is nothing for them to attain. Still, lokasangrahartham yatna purvam yatha pravurtaha tatha eva karmani pravurtasya. Yat pravurtiruvam dusyate natat karma. It's not karma, it may appear to be karma, but it is really not karma. So, one of the lesser known commentators of Gita, Dhanapati, he writes in the Bhashya Dipika, Janaga Ashubhati Prabhudayaha Purve Karmana Eva Shuddhasattvaha Santaha Samsiddhim Sammyajnanam Praptaha Ityartha. He continues, Kshatriyaha Karmana Eva Samsiddhim Moksham Gandham Asthidaha Pravurtaha Sravanadi Sadhyam Jnananishtham Prapta iti. So what a Brahmana or what a sannyasi, Brahmana he means Brahmajnani in that sense, or a great yogi attains through Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Samadhi, etc. The same result can be attained by a Kshatriya by the performance of his duties and responsibilities with great diligence and enthusiasm, but without any selfish purpose and without any attachment. Because if a Kshatriya like Arjuna performs his righteous duties and responsibilities without any selfish purpose, he will not do anything evil. An unselfish man, an unselfish person cannot do any evil for others, for the world. So, if a Kshatriya performs his duties and responsibilities, he can attain the same highest spiritual realization which a yogi attains through Saravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Any action, any kind of engagement in activity without a selfish purpose and without any kartrutva bhoktrutva buddhi, without any attachment either to the work or to the results of work, can slowly take us to the Chitta Shuddhi state and finally to Jnana Prapti and eventually can take us to the highest liberation or moksha. So that point is very clearly stated here. यथा भगवतो वासुदेवस्य क्षात्र कर्मचेष्टितं न ज्ञानेन समुच्यते पुरुषार्थ सिद्धये तद्वत् फलाभ्युसन्ध्य अहंकार अभावस्य तुल्यत्वात् विदुषः. So just as the activity of great spiritual teachers like Lord Krishna, which may be called Kshatriya Karma, because by virtue of his position he is a Kshatriya. It may not be called Jnanam, may not look like Jnanam at the beginning, but still it is a Purushartha. It can slowly take us to the highest spiritual realization through Chitta Shuddhi, Jnana Prapti. So, what such a great spiritual teacher, after attainment of the highest realization, does can never be called karma. Tattvavittu na aham karomi iti manyate na cha tat phalam abhisandhate. So Tattvavitu Mahabahu verse is quoted here. A spiritual seeker who has realized the highest truth never thinks I am doing something, and he doesn't have any desire for the results of his actions. That point is also made clear. Yathacha surgadi kamarthinaha agnihotradi kama sadhana anushtanaya ahidagnehi kamye eva agnihotrado pravurtasya sami krute vinashte api kame tadeva agnihotradi anudishtadaha api nadat kamyam agnihotradi bhavati tadhaja darsayati bhagavan kurvannapi nakarodi nalipyade iti tatra tatra. The Bhashya continues. Suppose a person who reads the Vedic injunctions like Surgagamo Yajeda, those who want to attain Surga, those who want to go to heavenly pleasures, those who want to attain heaven, should perform Agnihotra. If he reads that, if a Surgagama, a person who has a strong desire to go to Surga, if he reads such a Vidhi, Surgagamo Yajeda, in the Vedic literature, the one who wants to go to Surga should perform Yajna, Yaga, Agnihotra, etc. Then he starts performing Agnihotra. And then eventually he reaches his goal. And then what happens? In the process of performing a performance of Agnihotra, suppose he, because of his samskaras attained in previous life, even during his life in which he is always engaged in Agnihotra, he happens to attain Chitta Shuddhi. I mean, after finishing the preliminary rites, rituals, even if his desire to attain Surga suddenly disappears. That means in the course of performing Vedic rituals for attaining Surga, heavenly comforts, even in the course of being engaged in those rituals, if that person suddenly transcends those desires, if his desire for Surga Prapti disappears, then whatever rituals he performs after the disappearance of those desires cannot be called Kamya Karma, because he has not desire. So, it is not action that decides the quality of action, it is the mind, it is the purpose or the lack of purpose behind that determines the quality of action. It is not the physical nature of what we do that counts. It is rather the mind, the attitudes with which we perform, we engage in our activities that really matters in spiritual life. So that point is very, very clear. So it is a very interesting example. Suppose a person, normally householders, reads a vidhi, an injunction in a Vedic, in the Karma Kanda. That means Surgagamo Yajeda. If you want to go to Surga, then you should perform Agnihotra, you should perform Vedic ritual. And then he starts perform this performance. Even while being engaged in this performance of Vedic ritual, suddenly he transcends that state of mind. If he becomes completely free from any desire, if all desires for going to heaven disappear, then from that time onwards, whatever he does cannot be called Kamya Karma. It is called Kamya Karma only so long as he has a strong desire to be attained through the performance of that karma. The moment that desire disappears, it can never be called kamya karma. Abhi na tat kamyam agnihotradi bhavati. So even Agnihotra ceases to be kamya karma the moment all desires vanish, disappear from our mind. So long as we have no desire, so long as we have no attachment, either to the karma that we perform or the results of the karma that we perform, so long as we are completely free from any attachment, then whatever we do, it will not be called karma. It cannot be called karma because that karma does not produce a result. Tathacha darsayati Bhagavan kurvannapi na karodi na lipyade idi tatra tatra. So there are quotations from other chapters in this context. Kurvannapi na lipyade, that is in the Bhagavad Gita 5th chapter. And naiva kurvan nagarayan. All these verses are stated again and again. 5.7, 5.30. So, yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijidatma jidendriyaha sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. Those who are linked to yoga, those who are performing everything as a yoga, karma yoga, and those who are pure in mind, those who are completely conquered their kartrutta buddhi and have completely subdued the senses, and who look upon themselves as the Atman, the Brahman that is omnipresent, that is present in everything, that is immanent and omnipresent. Such a person or such spiritual seekers will not be tainted by whatever they do. Whatever their indriyas or senses do will not have any effect on their mind. That's the idea behind. Yaccha purvaihi purvadaram krudam karmanevi samsiddhim astidajane gadeha idi tattu pravibhajya vijneyam. So there are, of course, quotations from other chapters here. So evam jnatva krudam karma purvairavi mukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmattu purvaihi purvadaram krudam. So those who perform their duties without any of these attachments, those who have given up all their ego, whatever they do will not have a binding effect, will not bind them. That's the idea behind. Now, Purva Pakshini is asking us question, Tat Katham, how does it happen? So, how do you understand this difference? Yaccha purvaihi purvadaram krudam karmanayavik samsiddhi masda janakadaka idi tattu pravibhajya vijneyam. So, here Bhashyakara says, so these statements should be understood in their proper context, in their proper appropriate context. So Purva Pakshini asking the question, Tat Katham, how to understand this in this particular context, Pravibhajya Vijneyam. In answer to this, Bhashya says, Yadi tavat purve janakateha tattvavidaha api pravritta karmanaha syuhu te logra sangrahartham guna guneshu vartandi idi jnanena eva samsiddhi mastitaha karma sannyase prapte api karmana saha eva samsiddhi mastitaha na karma sannyasam kritavanda idi esartha. So here is a reference to ancient kings and emperors like Janaka. There was a philosopher king mentioned in the Bhagavad Upanishad. They were great Tattwajnanis and they were always active. Though they were great rulers, always active, always efficient, still they never thought that they were engaged in action. They never thought they were the Indriyas. Normally, when we make a statement, well, I am doing this work, actually the work is done by the senses and mind together. The mind and senses come together, we do a work. And mind is only reflecting medium for Atman. So actually all actions are done by senses. So when we normally make a statement, I am doing this, I am engaged in some kind of activity, it is the indriyas, or which is the senses, which are actually involved in action. So we identify ourselves with the indriyas, which are engaged in action. We forget the fact, or we are not aware of the fact that we are the Atman, which is beyond kartrutva and bhoktrutva, which is by its very nature akarta. So the akartrutvam, the non-doership of Atman, is forgotten, and we identify ourselves with the indriyas, which are always active. But great philosopher kings who were always working, doing their duties and performing their responsibilities as kings and emperors, had already attained the highest Atma-jnanam. So, yadi tavat purve janagadeha tattvavidaha, they were great tattva-jnanis, pravarta karmanasya, they were always active. So what was their purpose? Lokasangrahartham, for the good of others, for the welfare of others, welfare of the whole world. So they always thought guna guneshu vartanti. These indriyas are engaged in different indriyarthas, vishayas, gunas. That was their conviction. They were fully aware of the fact that they are the Atman. And they thought the actions are being performed by the indriyas. Guna guneshu vartanta idi jnanena eva samsiddhim astitaha. Through this non-attachment and total freedom from selfish desires, they attain Atma-jnanam, samsiddhim astitaha. Karma sannyase prapte api. Though they have reached the highest degree of karma sannyasa, because Tattva-jnana is possible only through real karma sannyasa, still they were always active. So it shows it is possible for us to do our duties and responsibilities even while thinking that we are the Atman, we are not the Indriyas. That's the idea behind. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.